Hi, Julie Jones from SSB Performance, Smarter, Stronger, Better Mindset Training, here with this week's Mindset Made Simple Tip of the Week, brought to you by Game Day Sportswear. This week we're talking about models. What models do you use to improve your performance? It all started with some research. Last Thursday, I'm working through my workout. I thought, you know what? After my warm-up, I don't feel like going through the 190, 80, 70 little lift thing that I do once a week. I thought I'm going to split it in half because I'm a little tired. So we'll go 50, 40, 30, and on down. So I went through the 50, I went through the 40, I get to the 30, I bend down to pick up my hex bar, and the 30 turned into 0. So as author Anthony Liccione says, one excuse could destroy a multitude of chances. That's exactly what happened. My easy workout turned into no workout because I couldn't stand up straight. And I'm lucky to be standing up straight right now, but with a few things and the modern medicine, here we are. But the bottom line is that as I was going through this back injury, which at least I didn't do emptying the dishwasher, at least I did it like picking up weight, which I should know how to do by now, you would think. But as I was laying on my acupuncture mat or acupressure mat, thinking of all the things that I need to do, like put away all the outside stuff because it's beautiful outside, mow the grass for one final time, pick up the things that are on the floor that I can't get to, all I could picture was me moving with back pain, as if that back pain has existed the other 363 days of the year. And it hasn't. This is a new thing since last Thursday. But this is not a new concept to me. In working with one of my Division I soccer players, we had the same thing. She was coming back from knee injury, watching herself do speed skaters, and every time she landed in her rehearsals on that leg, she would feel as if it wasn't stable. And we know that it is, and we know that it was for, years prior to this injury, but that is what she was picturing. And we know that that's not what we want. We don't want to be picturing what we don't want. We want to picture what we do want. And the reason for that is because every time that we picture ourselves doing something, we are engraving pathways in our brain. We watch, we feel, we experience, we rehearse, whatever it is, we are building these neural pathways that are laying the tracks for what our muscles are supposed to do. You watch videos of the U.S. ski team going down or imagining going down. When they hook them up to electrodes, those muscles are actually firing even though the muscles are not moving. The brain knows what the body's supposed to do. It sends signals. It's building paths to all the muscles that we need to do. We're creating blueprints. Now, whether we're seeing it from an internal perspective, like we have a GoPro on our head, or we're seeing it from an external perspective, like we're watching it on a movie screen, or we're feeling it kinesthetically as if we're actually moving and picturing what will happen after the ball leaves our bat or whatever comes next, or even if we're experiencing auditorily, we are setting pathways from our brain to our muscles on what's supposed to happen next. So, great. I'm thinking about what's going to happen next as if I don't have any motion, which I have very little, but as if this is going to be the way that it's going to be for the next 3 weeks. And of course, we don't have time for that, so we got to get out of this. So, what to do? We just went over this concept in my sport behavior class at Akron a couple weeks ago. I thought, you know what? It's time to do some modeling. And I'm not talking about the modeling that my mom did on the runway or when she was doing her TV commercials and all the things that she did as a professional model. I'm talking about modeling and watching and then rehearsing that with this. So I went into my Facebook Reels as I was laying on a bag of ice, and I looked at people doing things that I want to be able to do this week. Kettlebell swings or things, snatches, whatever it is, or literally just, stretching. And I watched intently, watched the movements, watched the timing, watched listened to the instruction, watched every single, watched it, if you talk about triple extension from your ankles to your knees to your hips to, what you're doing with your arms as they come up as you snatch, all these things and the timing, watching them as if I am going to step in that person's body and do it myself. And I'm doing this so that I can remind my muscles what they're supposed to do once they finally relax and quit protecting the pain in my back. I'm doing what Patrick Mahomes did last week in a way, saying, this is what I do, reminding my muscles, this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what I do. This is what you do. After this step, you do this, and after this step, you do that. Building the pathways of firing those muscles as they would as if I was kettlebell swinging or whatever it is that I want to do. I also then am building a model for which I can use to go back and compare once I'm able to do this. So this modeling is not only laying new pathways, or not really laying new pathways, we can already do these things, but it's reminding us as we rehearse them, we step into this person's body, or we imagine what it's going to feel like to do exactly what they're doing. Feel, what are your muscles going to feel like? Where are the tightness going to be? When is it going to fire? What are you going to look like? How are you going to feel? Literally rehearsing whatever the model's doing. That's what we're doing now. We talk about this all the time with the athletes and teams that I work with. It's like, you can't do things, go stand on a baseline. What's the big gonna do? When she receives the ball, what would you do? Picture what you would do if you were on the court at that moment. What motion would you be going through? What would your body need to do in order to get the result that you want? Feel it, live it, rehearse it. Immerse yourself in it as fully as possible and model the behavior that you see, or adjust based on what you see. Well, that's not my skill. I go better than my left. Okay, if the ball goes there, you go to the left. But this model is setting us up to get our body, to remind our muscles what they're supposed to do next. And that is vital to our movement. We are modeling, emulating, laying blueprints. We are feeling. We are exploding, not really exploding, but the muscles that would be exploding are getting turned on so that they remember what they're supposed to do. Research has shown time and time and time again that when we imagine doing things, we can prevent some atrophy, even in injury. Dr. Brian Clark from Ohio University says we have to urge our muscles to move even when they're not moving. So we're going to dive into what do we feel like. We're scripting it out. It sounds like a lot of work, but it's really not that much work. It's a little intimidating. You think, okay, I've got to be able to put myself in somebody else's body. Yes and no. But just like anything else that we do, it takes practice. I find that I don't do as good of a job of it when I'm laying down. I actually do a much better job of being able to emulate what somebody else is doing when I'm either standing or sitting in a chair. For whatever reason, you need to try it for yourself. Do you need to watch it on the movie screen first? Do you need to feel what it's going to feel like? Do you need to sort of hear it and feel what you would be doing? Every one of us does it a little bit different. But the bottom line is this, is that when we can emulate in our mind's eye, when we can mentally rehearse what other people are doing, number one, we're learning from their patterns. Success leaves clues. What do they do? What do I need to be able to do? It's not as if we're learning a new skill. We're just adjusting. We're reinforcing. We're reminding. And this is great practice. In fact, this winter, because my son wants to play baseball and he's not great, not even close to being great, he's not very good, we're going to set things up in the basement where he can have a tee, and I'm going to put a screen in front of him, and I'm going to have him watch that guy swing, and then I'm going to have him try to do it. He's going to watch it, rehearse it, and then try to do it. Watch it, rehearse it, and then try to do it. Right now, I'm just rehearsing because I can't do. But I am certain that when I can do, I'll be even better at the things I do, and maybe I'll pick the bar up the right way the next time. I swear I bet down, not over. So, in the Little Book of Talent, 52 Tips for Improving Your Skills, Dan Coyle recommends this. He says, fill your windshield with vivid images of your future self and stare at them every single day. I paraphrase that a little bit. But what are other people doing that you can't do right now, that you can make your body feel as if they're doing, or remind them what to do? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What do you need to do to immerse yourself in that, to urge those muscles to move even though they're not moving? This is a simple tool that again can seem intimidating, but if we can learn to do this, think of the things that we can sharpen. Think of the muscles that we can maintain when we're unable to do things. Think of the benefit of even picturing stretching and getting past that pain and realizing that just because your back feels like someone's putting knives in it right now doesn't mean it's going to do that tomorrow. You can remind those muscles what they're supposed to do once they do relax. And I am pretty certain that as you move forward, that will be a benefit. So who do you need to model? What models do you want to emulate? What can you pick up from other people that can remind your muscles or even encourage your muscles to do something a little bit different as you picture yourself doing exactly what you want? Not what I was doing and thinking about how painful things are going to be, but what am I going to be able to do once I get past this, and how am I going to maintain my fitness level throughout it? So I'm going to lift today, right here. I'm going to stretch today, physically and mentally. Think about what you can model this week and how that can make you better. Whether you're giving a speech, whether you're having a conversation, or whether you're performing a skill, it all works the same. Rehearse, emulate, model, be there in your body, watching what other people do, and you'll get better. If you want to get this stuff into the teams that you work with, we can have a great 3-week session. That's it, 3 weeks. We can get you set on your way to make mental rehearsal a part of what you do on a daily basis to get better. Reach out, JulieJ at ssbperformance.com. Until next week, have a great week. Find a model and go do what they do. Even better.